Sure, Usain Bolt ran the 100 metres in 9.58 seconds, but has he ever been strapped to a teatray and hurled headfirst down Mont Blanc? And he never shagged Hitler, murdered his rivals, or got high before races either. But I know some people who did. From Stasi spies to hot tub orgies, buckle into your bobsled for the wildest stories in Winter Olympic history. Welcome back to The Upshot. I'm Jack, and slipping into his salopettes is Zachary Sweeney Lynch.
Hello, Jack.
Hello. I was sort of hoping you were going to go for the sequined.
The sequin, what the sort of figure skater?
Yeah.
Leotard.
That's like half the competition, isn't it?
Yeah, I did at one time have I told you before I did trampolining, and we had to wear like a little leotard for that.
Sequin?
So the girls one had sequins on, the boys one didn't. Sadly.
What did the boys one have? Dragons.
It was just a sort of black and blue pattern.
No,
it was quite fetching, actually.
Yeah. I feel like it is in the figure skating and stuff. It's sort of half the competition. It's like the outfits.
Yeah, there's a guy in this one who is dressed as a minion, and he's had this like copyright dispute with Universal Studios because he wants to use the Minion soundtrack. It's just. Yeah. What serious sport is doing that?
Yeah, but I mean, as we'll find, this is not serious sport. This is the posh gay Olympics, isn't it? It's Swiss Dukes.
Yeah,
International Business Administration students.
Yeah, I guess because a lot of the Winter Olympic sports use some very expensive equipment, skiing, snowboarding. Like they're sports for rich people.
Yeah, there's a lot of people whose family made slightly too much money in German industry in the 1930s.
Yeah, a lot of they're quite Aryan Winter Olympic.
Yeah, it's a good advert for sort of like eugenics. Yeah. It's very blonde. I checked the all-time leading medal winner. I was shocked. Norway.
Is that shocking? Because
5 million people in Norway, aren't there?
But I guess the Winter Olympics for them is the World Cup or the Summer Olympics. Because the thing, like most of these countries, the other countries that are good, like Germany, France, stuff like that, like they have obviously mountain regions, but like a large part of the country is just normal. Whereas Norway, pretty much the whole country is under snow for a large part of the year, right? Yeah. So basically everyone skis, everyone bobsleds to work.
Yeah, and you've got a eugenics program, so everyone's good at skiing and blonde. Yeah. I also think because Great Britain are shit at this. In my mind, it's just like it's in the same category as handball and equestrian. It's like it's not really sport. It's trans world sport stuff. Yeah. It's Eurosport.
Yeah.
Do you ever go on holiday when you're younger and there's a TV and you're like, oh, I've got sports channels, great, and you put it on and it's like, right, I'm either watching korfball or luge.
Yeah.
It's just like a load of stuff.
Yeah, it's like paddle has come into that category now, right?
There are some people in this country who you see who watch snow sports on YouTube. You come across them? GoPro owners, in my experience.
Yeah.
I would check their SD cards, personally. There's something not right about those people. But yeah, I guess what we're saying is, yes, this is technically sport, but it's not what, it's in by the letter it's sport, but it's not in the spirit, in my opinion. Tomato is a fruit, but you wouldn't eat one like on the walk to work.
Yeah.
This is sport, but I don't want to watch it.
I'm sort of with you and I'm sort of not, because I think that the Winter Olympic sports are so like adrenaline fueled that it's actually, I think it's a pretty good watch, the Winter Olympics. Like there's so much peril in these sports. It's like, if you fuck this up, you will actually die.
Yeah, that's true. But I can already now smell the fumes of Monster Energy drink from the sort of like, there's like a sort of stoner side to this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's also, just people who don't wash their hair enough. Glass houses. But yeah, I mean, one upside of all that criticism, I should say, is that they're, like you say, it's elite sport, but also like they're quite normal people. It's like people who have to also lead normal lives.
Yep.
So you get fruitier scandals than you would get from a footballer.
Yeah. Nobody, I think, is mobbing Britain's Team GB's skeleton rider when they go to the shops.
Yeah. Which means that they end up, you get some quite good capers, which obviously in Upshot terms is great news because that's what we're here to talk about. Here to talk about the fruity shit. Also, what I will admit is the last Winter Games in Beijing,
The last one, Beijing was 2022. Yeah.
Was do you remember there was the Finnish skier whose cock froze during a cross-country race?
Yeah.
He needed a heat pack to unthaw it. So apparently, I looked it up. Spent an hour and 16 minutes in minus 17 conditions. He said the pain was unbearable. I guess that's frostbite, right?
Yeah.
You think it's going to fall off?
Yeah. Yeah, because like, because when people get frostbite in like the fingers and toes, they go sort of black, don't they? Do you reckon that happened?
Yeah, or purple. And I think you have to run it under cold water, don't you? Maybe there's a different method for this fella. And then there was also a genuinely great moment when an Australian speed skater was coming last, obviously, it's Australian, until the final corner of this race when all his rivals took each other out.
This
Got a
was
clip
great.
of it, actually.
Once this guy gets to the lead, he's almost impossible to pass. Skates a great
way
pass.
past.
Corner's tight, but the Chinese skater on the outside. Oh, and it's a lot of contact. Oh, they've all gone down. Bradbury is going to come through.
And he's come through. Yes.
Can't
believe it.
Is that a gold medal?
That's gold, yeah.
That's fucking great.
In the snowboard slalom, is it? One of the snowboard races where this woman in the final was so far ahead, I forget her name, and on the final jump, she was like showboating. She like did a trick and fucked it and fell and lost.
Lindsay Jacobellis.
Was that it?
Because she didn't need to do the trick. It was pure flair and it cost her the race. And then she didn't, I think the next 4 Winter Olympics she entered, she didn't get a medal because she was always like tipped as a favourite. And then last time in Beijing, she finally won gold.
Oh, really?
Aged like late 30s. She just did it. So it was a happy ending.
Yeah.
Before we begin, actually, thanks to Francesca, who sent us a lot of stories. I don't know if she's sort of this world of skating and other snow sports. I think you know that world I've just slagged off for the last 5 minutes. Sorry, Francesca.
She'll be enjoying this with a glass of Monster Energy right now.
Or a Glühwein. Yeah. Anyway, thanks, Francesca, for all your help. She sent us a lot of stories. But yeah, should we go all the way back to the first Winter Olympiad?
Yeah, let's do it. So the first Winter Games took place in 1924 in Chamonix in the French Alps. And I'm glad to report it was gold for Team GB. Oh, yeah. Gold in the curling.
It's always curling.
It's always curling. So it was these 4 Scottish farmers from Lanarkshire, I think it was, or southern Scotland, and they had been unable to farm during the winter months. So they'd spent their winter out on the frozen lochs doing curling with rocks, basically, and got pretty good at it. And they heard about these Winter Games and decided to give it a go. So got the train over there and won gold. Before fucking off to the Alps for 2 weeks.
This is obviously the era where you just sort of rock up and have a go.
Yeah. I think they saw a post, saw a little post-it note in the local post office and decided to go. They actually won the only gold for Team GB in that games though, because at the closing ceremony, the founder of the modern Olympics, a guy called Pierre de Coubertin, decided to award an Olympic gold medal in alpinism to 21 members of the failed 1922 British Mount Everest expedition.
Oh, right.
So they actually had nothing. They weren't competing at the Olympics. He just decided to dish out these gold medals to them. So we're looking at a picture of the expedition here. The guy in the middle, the large fella, is Charles G. Bruce, who was the expedition leader. We've also got his deputy, Colonel Edward Strutt, and the mountaineer George Mallory.
It's good sort of arrogant public school names there. Yeah. Can we just look at that picture? So it's the Harrow First 15.
It basically is. Yeah. It's like a load of posh public school boys who decided they wanted to climb Everest to give their life some kind of purpose.
It's gap year, isn't it?
Yeah. And they didn't make it all the way up Everest, but they did get their hands on gold medals, which is more than could be said for the 7 Nepalese Sherpas who died in an avalanche as a result of Mallory's irresponsible actions on the mountain, which we'll get onto in a minute. But just to give you a bit of background on the 1922 expedition, it was actually the first expedition that had the aim of reaching the summit of Everest. So nobody had actually been up there before. It was made up of 13 Brits who decided to go up for some reason dressed in tweed jackets, silk scarves, and woolen underwear.
Is that the warmest clothes available, or just like got to look Got to wear your
you got
Sunday best.
you got,
Base camp.
Yeah.
You're going to die in a tweed jacket on Everest, surely.
Yeah, well, actually, so we'll come on to this later, but they later like found the bodies of some of them, and they like analysed their kit and stuff, and apparently it was actually quite decent. Like they were wearing tweed jackets maybe underneath, but they had some decent gear.
I mean,
as
it's
well.
quite First World War, just sort of walking in close step into machine gun fire with your medals on. Just like, yeah.
Yeah. They were also, these 13 Brits were accompanied by 150 porters.
Right. What, 10 each?
Yeah.
And 20 spares.
Yeah. Yeah, you'll be surprised to hear that they did not get their hands on gold medals.
What, not a single? So these are Nepalese Sherpas?
They're Nepalese Sherpas, yeah.
Nepal yet to medal at the games?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, pathetic.
Well, I don't know about now, maybe they have. But
sorry,
yeah,
so they had 10 each. What are they?
These Sherpas, they got a pretty raw deal in the whole thing. So no one's bothered to record their names, let alone gold medals. They didn't really have warm clothes, and they also had to carry much heavier packs than all the Brits who were going up.
Because they're carrying everyone's
stuff. They're carrying everyone's stuff. So they were loaded up with corned beef, Heinz baked beans, spaghetti, condensed milk, ginger biscuits, Ovaltine, Kendall mint cakes, and shitloads of tea.
It's my granny's larder.
Exactly. I don't know.
Bit of cat food.
I don't know if that was the Nepalese Sherpas' food of choice on the mountain.
You guys love Ovaltine, don't you? Well, you're not getting any anyway. So.
Yeah.
You can eat each other.
Yeah.
Well, so they're basically carrying all the supplies, and the Harrow lads are just sort of...
The Harrow lads are pissing in each other's water bowls. Getting their asses out on the mountain.
Yeah. They might as well carry them.
Well, apparently Charles Bruce, the expedition leader, also liked to personally test the fitness of the Sherpas by jumping on their backs.
He's a big boy as well.
He's a big boy, Charles Bruce. When oxygen's getting thin, you're halfway up Everest, you got a bag full of corned beef and Ovaltine. The last thing you need.
Oh, Brucey on your back. I think it'd be really classic if you carried me for the last bit. Be so classic.
He's going to smear shit in your face as well, isn't he? So the group, all these Brits and their porters, they made 2 aborted attempts to reach the summit of Everest before being forced back to their camp somewhere on the mountain. After their second attempt, they had quite severe frostbite. One of them came back and downed 17 mugs of tea, and then decided to try and make homemade ice cream with snow, condensed milk, and strawberry jam.
That's probably not far off.
Apparently it was horrible.
You've got all the key ingredients there. Not exactly in the form you want them.
Yeah.
I would like to try that. Next time it snows, we'll head out.
I like that they get back and these poor Sherpas are like trying to like put the camp up. Put the camp up, like try and get some food that will sustain them. That's like, Rajan, we're making some ice cream over here.
I made you a vanilla. It's just snow. 70 mugs of tea. I guess you're fucking hungry.
Yeah. So at that point, I think the Sherpas were like, lads, like it's not going to happen. But they insist on going up, which this third attempt, it really shouldn't have happened. A lot of the mountaineers were sick. They were just shattered. But a few of them insisted on making another attempt to get up to the summit. And Mallory was particularly keen. He led a group of porters up there, and they reached this icy steep slope, which really they shouldn't have gone up. They should have just found another path. But yeah, he had to get back in time to watch the rugby.
Yep.
So he sent the porters up this slope. Unfortunately, that triggered an avalanche which buried 7 porters alive.
Right.
And after that, I think the rest of the porters were like, guys, like, we are turning back, and that was it. The expedition was over.
Oh, so they actually did.
They did turn back after that. It's safe to say that Charles Bruce wasn't too gutted about the fatalities. So after getting back to safety down the mountain, he did an interview where He said, "We had about a fortnight's work clearing up business matters, which included proper provision for the families of the unfortunate porters who'd been lost in the avalanche. Thus ended the first attempt to climb Mount Everest. I think on the whole, we may be quite satisfied with the results."
Yeah, I mean, they got quite far. And to be fair to him, it sounds like he actually sorted the families out.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if the 7 children of the Nepalese Sherpas will be that satisfied with the results.
Yeah, we've awarded you school colours.
Yeah.
Great.
Anyway, so they go back to the UK after that, and Mallory embarks on this speaking tour to try and raise funds to do another attempt to get to the summit. And in June 1924, so this is 4 months after they'd received their Olympic gold medal at Chamonix, Mallory was back up on Everest, making another attempt.
Fair play.
He was last seen alive on the 8th of June 1924, and his body wasn't found until May 1999, 75 years later.
Because is it just preserved up on Everest?
Well,
so cold.
Actually got a picture of his lifeless corpse here. It's sort of mummified.
Yeah, because he's cracked. Okay, 2 comments about his arse. Firstly, it's fucking pert.
I mean, he's been up and down Everest about
good point.
4 or 5 times by this point.
That is a really good arse.
It's a good arse, yeah.
Someone's kicked 2 holes in it and it's shattered like porcelain.
It's weird. It's because it almost looks like the inside of his body has been eaten out.
There's no flesh.
Decayed. But it is like a porcelain model of his body.
Yeah, you're right. It's like a mummy. It's like hard and cracked, and then there's just nothing in there.
Yeah.
And actually, his right leg's gone.
It's quite an odd colour as well.
How do they know it's him? The arse, probably. Famous arse.
Pert arse like that hasn't been seen at Harrow ever since. Yeah, I think they found some stuff on his person that confirmed that it was him.
He was surrounded by 30 dead Sherpas. There's only one man that could be. And some
a tin of Ovaltine.
Yeah, some homemade ice cream.
One of them had it. Yeah. They were spooning corned beef into his dying corpse.
That's a mad pig. So So he got his gold medal for trying, which fair play, because at the time it was unexplored.
It was tough, yeah.
You got to say, like, that's amazing to get that close.
Yeah.
So I sort of get it. And then he went back and
sadly perished.
But his arse was preserved for us to enjoy. Great
perpetuity. Yeah. So that was the first games.
So 2 golds for Team GB.
2 goals for Team GB.
None for Nepal. Have that.
Yeah.
Have that, you fucking Sherpas. Actually, at the same Olympics, Chamonix, 1924, it wasn't actually all contested by old Scottish farmers and rotund mountain climbers in tweed blazers, because the event also spawned an international superstar, 11-year-old Norwegian figure skater, Sonja Henie.
Wow.
11. So it's a bit of a Tom Daley vibe.
Tom Daley for generation.
He was sort of 13, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And I feel like we've got those skateboarders now in the actual Olympics who are like...
Yeah, they're
like 9.
Yeah.
Wasn't it like 7 teenagers and a 45-year-old bloke?
With his backwards cap. trying to
What up, fellow kids? Rollerblades into the first training session. Anyway, Sonja, she was only 11 in fairness in 1924 at Chamonix. So she came last, but real hit with the crowds. And by the next tournament where she's 15, she's a real superstar and she wins gold. And then actually she wins she wins medals in 3 consecutive winter games, including Garmisch-Partenkirchen in 1936, which is a lovely little Bavarian town just south of Mont Blanc. We're looking at a map here.
Lovely.
Also got a poster for Wank Barn.
That is a great poster.
Yeah, so Wank Barn's the lift.
Yeah.
Thing about Mount Wank, very hard to get up, but the climax is worth it.
The cleanup after that Olympic Games was rough, really. The legacy, the games went very well, but
inspire a generation.
Yeah, the legacy wasn't much.
Yeah, so Mount Wank is home to the Wank House restaurant and Wank Pass. And yeah, it's where the tournament was held.
Okay.
Although weirdly they went for the Garmisch-Partenkirchen as the name rather than Wank.
The Wank Pass. The Wank
1936 Wank would have been more hard hitting.
The Wank Olympics.
Yeah. Also known, by the way, as the Nazi Winter Olympics. So this is the summer counterpart, which, the 1936 Olympics gets all the attention, the summer one in Berlin, because obviously Jesse Owens stood up to Hitler and humiliated him really by winning. Sonia was at the winter edition. I have to say she ain't no Jesse Owens. She took a different stance, as we'll see, but she was determined to win at these games, and to get to success on Mount Wank, she was willing to be a ruthless bastard. She got to the German border early for training, like a few weeks ahead of the Olympics, and already she began to compete. So she decided to stitch up her main rival, a woman called Viviane Holten, who was traveling from Sweden. So she got there like a bit before Viviane, and she told the border guards to check out Viviane because she'll be smuggling jewelry on her person.
Wow.
So when Viviane Holten arrived at the German border, she was strip searched and detained for 7 hours.
Wow.
Mind games have begun. This is sort of the 1930s version of like fireworks at the team hotel, isn't it? But it's
strip searched by Nazi border guards.
Try and get them put in a prison camp. Holten obviously was furious about this when she was eventually let go. And so she complained to her good friend, Joseph Goebbels.
Okay.
Yeah. So apparently Goebbels was a big figure skating fan.
There's something quite sinister about that. I mean, it's not the most sinister thing about Joseph Goebbels, but I feel like that plays into it. Figure skating.
Well,
because they're all quite young and blonde and like.
Yeah. But I was thinking about this. So, because figure skaters were apparently big pin-ups in this era.
Yeah.
But if you think about now, like you step out the house and there's sexualized imagery everywhere. Billboards.
So we're going to say, you step out of the house now, the way women dress these days, no modesty, is there?
You've seen those harlots on every street. No, but you know what I mean? Like adverts on your phone, like you're seeing a lot more sort of like semi-nudity and stuff.
Yeah, there was a woman on the train the other day with her ankles out.
It's sickening. But you know, back then, honestly, it's paintings and then it's like events like this. It's cabaret if you can afford it.
Yeah.
And so like something like figure skating where they're really fit and graceful and then their outfits are quite skimpy. It must have been, it's basically pornography. And you're on Mount Wank.
You're on Mount
You
Wank.
certainly climb Mount Wank by the end. Like, do you know
I think the real Wank Olympics took place halfway up Everest.
With an arse like that. So I kind of get how they were pin-ups. As we'll see, they really become pin-ups. But anyway, so Viviane Holten, she's been strip searched by these border guards. She's been detained. She then complains to Joseph Goebbels, who he goes to the border and forces the border guard to get down on his knees and apologize to her. So she's got friends in high places. Yeah. I'm not sure how she's got such good access to the Nazi high command.
Wait, this is Holten has friends?
Yes, this is Holten. Okay. Although, well, as we see, Sonia actually outdoes her on that front as well, because Sonia ends up becoming close pals with the Führer himself, Adolf Hitler. Wow. So she wins gold, Sonia. She beats Viviane. And when she meets Hitler to get her medal, she decides to greet him with a salute, a Nazi salute. She says Heil Hitler as well. Really goes for it. Yeah,
it's aged badly.
Yeah, Viviane Holten refuses. She says, "I'm Swedish. We don't do that."
Okay,
but I don't know. Norway. I guess Sweden were neutral. Norway were invaded.
What was the general vibe at this Olympics? Do we know? Did a lot of people do Nazi salutes? Was it seen as like in the same way that at the Qatar World Cup, Messi they got Messi to put on the
I think it's exactly like that.
The like dress.
I think maybe a slightly higher stakes version. Yeah, obviously, it's a bit like when John Terry and Wayne Bridge didn't shake hands. It was like, oh, will they? Like it was. Okay. The press were really asking them, will you? And Viviane Holten was like, nah, I'm all right. I'm mates with Goebbels anyway. Do you know, my credentials are good. Yeah. Whereas Sonia Henny she just fucking went for it. So we're looking at a picture of Sonia Henny shaking Adolf Hitler's hand in the foothills of Mount Wank. Anyway, afterwards, Hitler invited her for lunch at his home in Berchtesgaden in Bavaria, where he presented her with a signed photo of himself. Is that what you... Is that the gift you give? I guess it is. I sort of get it if she was giving him a photo of herself, because see above, it's sort of a pervy thing. But I guess the cult of personality is so big.
I told you I met I do know a guy who used to go out with Mark Crossley's daughter, and Mark Crossley, the former Nottingham Forest goalkeeper. And for his birthday, Mark Crossley gave him a signed copy of Mark Crossley's autobiography.
At least he signed it.
Yeah.
He's got a room full of those,
That's
surely.
like, yeah. Your stepdad.
Yeah, Neil Warnock used to rock around with a bum bag of signed photos, didn't he? Just hand them out.
Yeah.
Anyway, rumours spread that Sonia Henny and Adolf Hitler were actually shagging. They had a romantic affair, which very plausible. She's certainly his type. That is unconfirmed, but it is common knowledge in the skating world that she was sleeping with all her dance partners, apparently. So according to fellow dancer Susan Strong Davis, she said, Sonia slept with them all. She was always in bed with somebody.
Wow.
Yeah.
What do you think shagging Hitler would be like?
Frightening, because he's very like, oh! He's a rabid dog, isn't he?
Yeah, I can't imagine he's got a lot of like, I don't think there's much gentleness or tenderness.
No. It's plugging away until he's done. Also, he's got the sort of hair that would flick up. It'd be like one of his speeches.
It's like it's gritted teeth.
Yeah, it'd be like one of his speeches. They're like manic and rabid.
Yeah.
Hard and fast. Also, isn't the whole thing now that he was on loads of drugs?
Yeah, is he going to be like frothing at the mouth?
Is he going to be on his meth handshaky speech making or an opioid to come down? Yeah.
Yeah.
Was he a big shagger?
I've never really.
There's Ava Braun.
Yeah.
Anyway, I should say Sonia herself denied that she was ever a Nazi or had sympathies for Hitler. She said she only saluted him to curry favour in the votes in the figure skating.
It worked.
Yeah, it worked. She won. Although that would be slightly easier to believe had she not kept the signed photo he gave her on her mantelpiece at home in Norway, which actually ended up doing her real favours once again, because by 1940 she'd moved to Hollywood. She became like a really famous actress in Hollywood. She had a big movie career, but the Nazis invaded Norway, I think that year, and the Nazi troops are going from house to house just looting, and eventually they got to her home. But when they broke in, they saw this signed photo of the Führer on her mantelpiece. And so they decided to leave her property untouched, which is a good life hack. So, always keep a signed photo of Hitler on your mantelpiece, just in case. So I don't know, maybe again, she was thinking...
Stick your head. Maybe she saw the writing on the wall.
What you think? She's like, the Nazis will need to secure that northern border.
Yeah.
They'll need to secure the North Sea with Britain, so they will invade Norway, at which point my house will be looted, so I should leave the picture.
Yeah. She's sort of like Bezos and Zuckerberg coming out for Trump.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
She sees which way the wind is blowing.
She's very cynical, yeah. I like that. Yeah, well, good thinking. Actually, a lot of those figure skaters became Hollywood stars.
Oh, yeah.
I think it was...
Yeah, I guess... Yeah, there wasn't much else going on, was there? Really?
Yeah, just the events of Mount Wank. Actually, if you are a Nazi Obergruppenführer who finds yourself in Fleckfjord rifling through the possessions of a Hollywood actress, you're going to want to get some pics for the lads back home, aren't you? Show them where you are. And then imagine how gutted you'd be if you had no data because your Nazi phone provider doesn't cover Norway.
Reichsphone.
Yeah, I was trying to think of Nazi phone networks, and all I could think of was eugenics everywhere for EE. It's quite hard.
The final connection.
Yeah, that's good. Anyway, there is a solution. You could say a final solution for that problem. Saily, which is a new eSIM service app brought to you by the creators of NordVPN. Oh, NordVPN. FjordVPN.
Are they going to like this advert?
I guess what I'm saying is use it if you're a Nazi soldier. Saily, basically, download it once and then you just get cheap data plans for 200 countries. So
doesn't matter where you invade.
No, any Lebensraum is going to be covered by that. So it's the cheapest, easiest way to use your phone abroad across the Third Reich and beyond.
Yeah.
They said the supply lines didn't stretch, but with Saily, you'd be deep into Russian territory.
You're sieging Stalingrad. You want to let the lads back home know that the food supplies are running low.
Yeah, I've just eaten rats on toast for breakfast. Could you do another airdrop, please? I've just eaten the chaplain. Maybe things would have panned out differently if they'd had cheap data abroad.
I'm sure it would.
There's a thought. Saily, anywhere you're abroad, you can use it for cheap data. And Upshot listeners get 15% off and you get NordVPN free as well. This is a great deal. So download Saily in the App Store. It's Saily. And then use code UPSHOT and you'll get 15% off. I'll also linked to it in the description box. You can go to saily.com/upshot. Yeah. So if you're a Nazi abroad or otherwise.
Sailor.com/Führer for a 30% discount. Right. So fast forwarding through the Siege of Stalingrad and other grim events of the 1940s, when the Winter Olympics did return in 1952, things kicked up a notch. So it was hosted in Oslo in 1952. There were 694 athletes from 30 different nations competing. And boy, were they competing. Particularly the speed skaters, several of whom seemed to be acting very aggressively on the day of their event, which prompted the physician to go and check out their locker rooms, where he found broken vials and syringes. And at the time, there were actually no rules about doping, so he just kept his findings to himself until the race was about to start, when half a dozen skaters collapsed. They were suffering from faintness and pounding hearts. And it turned out they'd been taking quite a lot of amphetamines. So a lot of them were then carted straight off to hospital.
Speed.
Put the speed in speed skating.
A bit of whiz. It would make sense that an amphetamine would help you.
Yeah, I mean, we on our, which episode was it? We did the 1904 marathon from the 1904 Olympics, and they were doped up to the eyeballs.
Yeah.
With
rat poison
and various other, there were a lot of amphetamines.
There's a lot of champagne as well.
Champagne,
that's just the era.
Yeah.
That's Everest Base Camp stuff. Champagne.
Champagne and rat poison. So this was actually the first time that athletes were caught doping at the Winter Olympics, and it kicked off quite a proud tradition. But then, obviously, back then it was totally fine. The Olympics, summer and winter, didn't actually ban performance-enhancing drugs until 1967. The first person who was disqualified was a Swedish pentathlete who had drunk 2 beers before his event to, in his words, steady the nerves.
Is that doping? I guess pentathlon, they do shooting, don't they?
Shooting, yeah.
You're probably better off for a couple.
Yeah, it's a bit like darts and snooker, isn't it?
Yeah.
Don't know if I want them having a gun, but so that was the first time. There's another good story actually from Nagano, 1998, of drug use. So Nagano, it was the first time that snowboarding had been included in the Winter Olympics, and there was a bit of an uproar about this because the whole vibe of snowboarding was a bit young, a bit alternative, a bit more fruity, and it really contrasted with this like quite stuffy traditional past of the Winter Olympics, where it was just international students and gay Swiss dukes.
Yeah, so what they didn't
like the vibe.
We're going from like guys in like tight trousers with like striped shirts on and like sort of like Chelsea boots, and suddenly the stoners come in their huge shoes and baggy jeans.
Yeah, exactly. You
can see it's a culture clash.
Yeah, it's the jackass crowd turned up to the Winter Olympics for the first time, and the traditionalists were a bit on edge about this. They weren't too happy, and their fears did come true when Canadian Ross Rebagliati won the snowboarding giant slalom and immediately tested positive for cannabis.
Excellent.
So he was disqualified after that, but actually got his medal back a few weeks later because the IOC realised that weed actually wasn't on the list of banned substances. So he was fine.
So he still got his gold.
He still got his gold. He claimed that he hadn't been smoking himself and that it had been secondhand smoke, which would be slightly easier to believe if he was not now a major entrepreneur in the cannabis industry. We're looking at a picture of him cradling a humongous bud.
Yeah. So he sells weed now.
He sells weed, yeah.
He's a drug dealer. He doesn't he looks more like a cyclist or like almost more of the sort of like posh skier vibe.
Yeah.
I was hoping for fat dreads.
Yeah, you want long greasy hair.
Yeah, like just maybe some like what's it dust on the chin, energy drink in hand,
Quicksilver jeans. And
exactly.
Hawaiian shirt sort of vibe. 4 years later, there was an even bigger drug lord in the snowboarding event, Ryan Wedding. So anybody
friend of the pod,
friend of the pod, Ryan Wedding. So anyone who's followed Extra Shot, our other podcast, for the past year or so, we've been following his case in quite a lot of detail. brief overview. He finished 24th in the 2002 Winter Olympics in snowboarding, hung up his boots and board after that, and threw himself into the world of cocaine trafficking. So he was a major cocaine trafficker for about a decade or 2 decades, in fact, shipping millions of dollars worth of cocaine from Mexico and Latin America into the US and Canada. He was on the FBI's most wanted for several years until he was finally tracked down a few weeks ago. He was arrested, and he's looking at a long stretch behind bars. For
we're gonna do an episode on him.
I think we should actually, because there are a lot of ins and outs.
Some funny,
lots of him basically murdering witnesses.
Also, the FBI operation's called Operation Giant Slalom.
Yeah,
investigating his avalanche of crimes.
Yeah,
they're having fun with it.
They weren't taking it seriously as maybe they should have done.
Yeah.
Anyway, we've talked a lot about him in the past, and we might do a full episode. So leave it at that for him for now.
Yeah, much more wholesome scenes at the 1988 games in Calgary, which was the underdog games. A lot of sort of unlikely heroes ended up being the stars. Firstly, Eddie the Eagle Edwards, Britain's first ever Olympic ski jumper. We're looking at a picture of him. He looks like Jimmy Hill in Berkheim, I would say.
Yeah, he's a funny looking fella.
He's got Jimmy Hill's chin.
Sort of like, because was that look cool at the time? Because now, so if you're just listening to this, he's got very short hair, very big glasses, moustache. He looks like a Berlin graphic designer.
Yeah, with Jimmy Hill's chin and eyes. I emphasize. But yeah, there's
was that a cool look at the time? Because he's kind of trendy nerd.
Yeah, I think 1988 is the other time where this look is cool, isn't it?
Do you think?
Where moustaches are like in. Because there's basically now and the 80s is when that look is cool, and any other time in history, you're an absolute weirdo.
Yeah.
I thought his name was Eddie Edwards, but it's a nickname. I was disappointed to learn. But everyone calls him Eddie. And he got his first taste of skiing on a school trip, age 13, and fell in love with it. And when he got home, he started doing dry slopes, which I always think that's crossing a line for me, dry slopes. Anyway, and it became his obsession that he wants to be in the British downhill skiing team. But then he realized it would be easier to get in the ski jumping team because it's cheaper to do it, and Britain didn't have any ski jumpers. So there's literally no competition to get into the Olympics. Okay. You just got to enter.
Yeah.
So he contacted the British Ski Federation, who said, all right, we're up for it. You can go to the 1988 games, but you have to jump 50 meters in a competition to qualify, which is like pretty fucking daunting. Yeah. Anyway, he's set to work at it, and it's an expensive hobby. So he said, I begged, borrowed, and stole equipment and slept in cars and cow sheds. So he's a thief. That's the headline.
Yeah.
But anyway, so he's basically just like living this mad existence. All his money's going towards that. At one point, he's living in a Finnish mental hospital just to save money.
To save money? Is that really? Who did he just get interned?
Yeah, I was just saving money.
Yeah.
I was just crashing there for a bit. Yeah. Anyway, 5 weeks before the Calgary Olympics, he does it. He does the 50-meter jump and he's in. So he goes to the Olympics where he comes dead last in both events he enters. I mean, I watched the video. It's like, if any friend did that jump, I'd be impressed.
Yeah, I mean, 50 meters at that height and to land it is
it's impressive.
Pretty insane.
And it won everyone's hearts because it's this like have a go hero. It's a great underdog story. I say everyone's. He didn't quite penetrate the icy hearts of the Norwegians and the East Germans, who their federations called him an Olympic tourist and a clown.
But what was the problem with that? That's just a bit of fun.
Because
it brings new eyes to the Olympics.
Yeah.
I guess maybe you say it like devalues their sport by...
They're just being po-faced. I guess because they take it really seriously. This is their World Cup and they don't want people just being like, oh, I just fancied it.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Norwegians are rapidly emerging as the villain of this episode. The entire country.
Nazi sympathisers.
Yeah, Nazi sympathisers.
Joyless.
Po-faced. Got any other Norwegians? We'll see. Anyway, after the complaints of Norwegians and East Germans, the International Olympic Committee changed the rules. So you have to be in the top 30% of your sport to qualify. So you can't just like get in like he did. And Eddie tried to qualify for the next 3 Olympics and failed.
But there was the what was his name? Was it Eddie the Eel?
Eric the
Eel, the
swimmer.
The swimmer who had never swum 50 meters before and then competed at the...
Yeah, so how did he get in?
How did he get in?
Was this a winter only rule?
Maybe.
There's no way of shit in the summer one, so
yes,
they haven't complained. Yeah, I don't know actually, it's a good question. But yeah, Eddie remains a hero to us, much like the Jamaican bobsleigh team, who also made their debut at the same games.
Wow, it really was the underdog Olympics.
Obviously, their story got turned into Cool Runnings, which I do think we could do an episode on. So, although one of them, Dudley Stokes, he's not impressed by the film. He said it's a feature Disney film. Not much in it actually happened in real life. Which, come on, mate, let us live the. I actually looked at the story. It's actually closer to the film than he makes out there. I'm sure like all the individual details don't match.
Yeah,
they don't have kiss the lucky egg before they do it and all that stuff. But like a lot of it is accurate and quite mad, the broad strokes. So basically these American businessmen, they saw people doing these like tea trolley races and in Jamaica, I think, and they decided to convince the Jamaican Olympic Association to enter a team just for shits and giggles, I think. And so the Jamaican Olympic Association recruited 4 soldiers. They only advertised it to soldiers.
Yeah.
I don't know why. They recruited a team of 4. 3 of them have got names that sound like Cornish villages. Dudley Stokes, Devon Harris, and Caswell Allen. And there was one called Michael White, who, not quite as sort of Cornish or East Anglian. Anyway, they begin training.
Dudley Stokes, it's got a lovely little tea house there.
Yeah, Dudley Stokes.
I just scone and Earl Grey there.
Yeah, the Caswell Allen Village Fete. Beautiful. Check out the tombola. Yeah. Anyway, so these guys begin training straight away because they've only got 4 months until the Olympic Games.
Shit, I didn't realise that.
And none of them have ever walked on ice before being selected, let alone raced a bobsleigh.
So there's never ice in Jamaica, is it?
I actually checked. Snow has never fallen in Jamaica, even in the last ice age. It's that tropical.
Okay.
Which makes sense. They've got mountains.
Yeah, they've got mountains. I guess that's what inspired it, was they had sort of an equivalent race of like going fast down a hill.
Yeah, I guess. Because apparently sledding, the first signs of sledding are in Egypt on sand dunes.
Really?
Yeah. Plausible. Anyway, it becomes very clear that they've never walked on ice when they finally get to Calgary, and in their first training session, Caswell Allen slips on the ice and injures himself. I love the idea that
he was carrying his Victoria sponge to gift it to the Norwegians.
Yeah, he was just off to enter the largest marrow competition. When he slipped, banged his head on the coconut shy on the splat the rat game, and he was out of the games. It was the first time he'd ever walked on ice, and he slipped and injured himself. Yeah,
it's not a good start.
My mate actually tried to do a ski season, and on his first day, he was walking to the ski rental shop, slipped, broke his leg. No season. Similar story.
Where did they train then? So he'd never walked on ice.
I think, this was the training. They got to Calgary
early.
they just. Yeah, I think there was a bit of training just like on dirt or whatever. Just like, like with your first driving lesson, you just like sit in the car and like bunny hop. It was that. But obviously they're a man down now and the Olympics are about to start. Fortunately, Dudley Stokes, besides bringing his tombola, has also brought Chris, his brother, who has never seen a bobsled before, and he's just there to support him. He literally just came to cheer along his brother, and Chris just joins the team.
Great.
He's the replacement.
Great.
So we're back to 4. Devon Harris said, looking back, he said, I can do an accent. We taught him everything we knew about it. Then we began the event 3 days later. Almost sounds Cornish. It's Cornish village, Devon Harris, not Jamaican Devon Harris. Right, so they've now got their team of 4 into the games. The 4-man bobsleigh event is, you get the idea of bobsleigh. You're in this fucking thing. You've got to go down this terrifying
mental
chute.
Sport.
Anyone who's got the guts to even try it.
Because those things, they weigh half a ton.
Yeah. I doff my hat to them.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you get 4 runs in the event. You've just got to get the best time, right? And going into the 3rd run, so they're halfway through, Jamaica are second to last, which actually is not bad.
Not bad, considering one of them's only never seen a bobsled before.
Yeah, I don't know who's at the back.
Who's coming last?
Yeah, they won't be Norwegian. actually, into this third run, they get off to a flying start, possibly too flying, because they were going too fast. And we all know what happens next. Here's a clip.
Rather untidy high points on these bends. Much harder to drive these four-man sleds.
Yeah, they're zigzagging.
Total weight of 1/2 ton.
Do you want to understand, I guess?
All over the place in the Kreisel. Oh, and he's on there, he's over! Oh, dear me! Oh, that's terrible.
Do they manage to sort of tuck your
Still
head
in there?
So
Yeah,
it
there
looks
must
like
be
their
protocol.
heads are like,
It's the fact they have to just slow down for ages.
Yeah.
And everyone's silent. You know, in the Hollywood version, they get up and they decide to carry it over their head, which I think is pretty hard in real life because it's so heavy. And then the crowd, like the guy who'd been their enemy, the East German baddie, starts clapping really slowly and then everyone claps. It's a tearjerker, to be honest. I'm welling up thinking about it. It's a fucking good film and it is a fucking amazing story. Like
It's such a
country
good
with no
story.
snow.
Yeah.
Fair play to them. And also, what I didn't know is that Jamaica actually entered 3 more Winter Olympics with the bobsled team. And in one of them, in a crew that included Chris Stokes, the brother who just come along to watch, he ends up being a bobsled guy after that. They came 14th out of 25.
Yeah, that is
Oh, they
very,
got
very
pretty good.
They got good, yeah. Because there's sort of cool runnings too happening in this Winter Olympics, isn't there?
Oh.
So Trinidad and Tobago have qualified, and one of their team members is a guy from Yorkshire who I think his mum was like born in Trinidad or something.
Yeah.
And
he's ginger, which is
ginger,
a nice touch.
ginger guy. And yeah, they're doing this Winter Olympics, so keep an eye out for that.
Yeah, we'll be watching. Maybe they've already raced by the time this comes out. Yeah, anyway, that's a lovely feel-good story.
It certainly is, but not all competitors at the 1988 Games were worthy of a feel-good Disney blockbuster. So Ingo Steuer, he's a legend of German figure skating. He was a European and world champion, Winter Olympic medalist, and then he ended up becoming a top coach for their national team as well. And Ingo was revered among his peers until it emerged that he'd spent most of the 80s working as an informant for the Stasi, the East German secret police, and had been spying on his teammates. So he went by the codename Torsten. And apparently back in the 80s, the Stasi were especially interested in one of his teammates, Katharina Witt, who she was this upcoming star. She was really glamorous, very beautiful, and she was like the face of East German figure skating. And they were terrified about her defecting because it would be a terrible look for the state. And they'd actually been monitoring her since she was 7.
But this is a bit like Sonia Henney then.
Yeah, she was seen as this like upcoming star and they wanted to make sure that she was clean.
So what year are we in there? Like
this is
decade.
80s. This is 1980s.
So figure skaters are still a big deal
figure skating was a big
Germany
deal,
even then. Yeah.
And the Stasi, they'd bugged her apartment, they'd bugged the ice rink where she trained, and they then recruited Ingo to spy on her. So for years, he was feeding the Stasi information, very personal information about like her love life and where she'd be at certain times, stuff like that. Fortunately for Katharina, she actually was relatively like clean. They didn't find much on her. But Ingo also ratted on another one of his teammates, skater who was about to defect to France. And she was hauled in by the Stasi. And it's unclear what happened after that.
Never heard from her again.
Couldn't find any trace.
So you
of her.
Stopped her moving to France?
Yeah, I think they caught her just before.
Bastard.
And yeah, judging by what the Stasi
yeah
tended to do to people, you can imagine it didn't end too well.
Hell, okay.
Anyway, nobody knew about his Stasi past until 2006, when it was the eve of the Turin Winter Olympics, and he was there as a coach for the German national team. And these documents came out that proved that he'd basically been ratting on everyone else for decades. And there was this huge furore, as you can imagine, that the German Olympic Committee tried to kick him out and ban him from attending, but there was a big court battle. And he ended up being allowed to go to the games, but the German Olympic Committee refused to let him wear their colours.
He was just a coach anyway.
He was a coach, yeah.
He's not allowed to.
He's not allowed to wear the tracksuit. He did actually
wear my Stasi jacket instead.
Yeah.
Wear my East Germany one.
He did actually come back for some later Olympics. I guess they decided it was all water,
I'm not
water under the
Imagine
bridge.
he was your coach.
Yeah.
I guess who's he going to denounce me to now? Russia.
Yeah. Yeah, but it was mad. I was looking into it. Apparently, at its peak, the Stasi had 1 in 6 East Germans working as informants for them. 1 in 6, 1 in 7, which is mental.
This is just one big game of traitors.
Nationwide game of
It is
traitors,
about 1 in 6,
basically.
isn't it?
Yeah.
I am and always have been a communist, a Marxist-Leninist. I love the idea of your teammate doing it. Also, figure skating.
Yeah, figure skating
all these
again.
fucking stories where people are at their work. It's the most ruthless.
Yeah, I don't know. There's something very odd about figure skating, isn't it?
Are we talking about the racing one or the dancing one?
Dancing.
Yeah. I think they're both quite sinister.
Yeah, I think the speed skating is quite fun, though. I quite like.
Yeah, okay.
I quite like that, but
yeah, the dancing one has. I mean, it has Nazi origins. That's what we've learned.
yeah,
and Stasi links. And actually, the skating scandals don't stop there because obviously we can't do this episode without mentioning Tonya Harding and the attack on her rival Nancy Kerrigan, which was colourfully portrayed by Margot Robbie in the film I, Tonya. It's probably like the most famous Winter Olympics scandal.
There's been a lot of Winter Olympics films, haven't there? Maybe it's just those two.
Blades of Glory.
Blades of Glory. This one. There's also a Netflix series at the moment about figure skating. People are obsessed with it.
Well, I can see why.
Yeah.
It's weird, yeah, from Goebbels all the way to Reed Hastings, Netflix CEO. They love it. I actually think we'll probably do a full episode on the Tonya Harding scandal at some point, but very briefly. So Tonya Harding and Nancy Kerrigan were America's top 2 figure skaters in 1994. And Nancy was the clean-cut, wholesome, all-American girl. Tonya was from the wrong side of the tracks, which basically means she smoked, drank, swore. It says here played pool, which I didn't realize.
I always knew that.
That crazy cat. Whoa. What are you doing, Tonya?
The signs were there all along.
Yeah, Nancy's a billiards girl. Anyway, she also drove pickup trucks and skated to ZZ Top, which is pretty rock and roll. And she did these homemade costumes that were quite like out there. Okay. They're quite rare. Anyway, they were still, despite being chalk and cheese, they were quite friendly until in the build up to the 1994 Winter Games, ahead of a major tournament, Nancy was attacked. Someone whacked her around the legs with a metal bar. And it turned out in the aftermath that Tonya Harding's ex-husband and her bodyguard had hired a third man called Shane Stant to break Nancy Kerrigan's leg to try and ruin her Olympic hopes and boost Harding's. I mean, to be fair, he ruled Nancy out of this tournament, which Tonya went on to win. But in the wider perspective, he didn't do a great job. So firstly, when he got there to do the hit, he didn't recognize Nancy Kerrigan. So he had to ask a spectator to point her out, which was later used against him as evidence. And then when he did hit her, he had this like telescopic baton, you know the vibe. But he missed her knee. So he ended up only bruising her. He needed to like shatter a meniscus. So actually, all right, she missed that tournament, but Nancy was able to compete in the Olympics after all. It was all for nothing, really.
Yeah. They've hired a
moron
to do this job.
Idiot.
Just do it. If you want a job done properly, do it yourself.
Yeah, agreed. And also, you don't want to involve more people.
Yeah.
I don't know where they found this guy.
I mean, at least look at a picture of her before. Don't go around. If you're doing a hit on anyone,
I can see how it's quite hard. They're all in their like sparkly costumes. I don't know. When you watch the gymnastics,
I think like if you've been hired for that job, there is one thing you have to do, which is just make sure you know what they look like.
Yeah. To be fair, his bungling operation didn't end there because he then tried to make a stealthy escape, but he panicked. He basically went all the way down this corridor, reached a dead end that was a fire escape door, and he was like, "Fuck, I'm not walking all the way back there," because like now there's obviously a commotion building around her.
Yeah.
So he headbutted his way through the glass fire escape door.
Great. So now he's just covered in blood.
Yeah.
He's dazed
an alarm.
Dazed and confused. Set an alarm. He's just stumbling around. Yeah, this guy's an idiot.
Could it be the bloke who's got glass in his beard? Anyway, so he gets time in prison. Tonya and Nancy actually both end up going to the Olympics in Lillehammer. Is that Norway?
Yeah.
where there's this huge media frenzy around it. Can you imagine? They still go. It's a bit John Terry and Wayne Bridge, but like times 10. Tonya ends up finishing 8th, and there's that famous clip of her crying on the ice. It is a cartoonish crying face.
Yeah. That was because her lace broke, though, right?
Was it?
Yeah.
What?
She was halfway
shoelace.
Through, halfway through her routine, and one of her laces broke, which meant she messed up her routine. But I think they let her go again. The judges.
Isn't her thing that she was way more ambitious? She had this move she kept trying to pull off that was really ambitious. That was it's like an extra axle or something. Yeah, something like that. Anyway, it's still disputed whether she tried to orchestrate the attack. She had quite a mad life after that as well. I think there's a porn career at one point.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yes. So I think we'll do a full episode.
Yeah.
Got to keep them wanting more.
And there's been some scandals in the more recent games as well. So much like the Summer Games, the Winter Olympics are an absolute bonk fest. So in 2010 in Vancouver, they ordered in 100,000 condoms. Some athletes came out and said there were six of them said that they had a late night whirlpool orgy in one of their accommodations.
Whirlpool makes it sound cool, but it's like a jacuzzi.
It's like a jacuzzi, hot
I
tub,
thought it was like, have you ever been to one of those water parks where there's like a thing that like sucks you down? You don't need 6 people to enjoy that. So sorry, 6 people had an orgy in their jacuzzi.
There's another story I liked from 1994 when an American skier claimed that 2 German bobsledders had tried to swap their gold medals with her for a threesome. There's something that what makes this story is there's 2 German bobsledders. The bobsledders, there's like bobsled is not a cool sport unless you're part of the Jamaican bobsled team.
Yeah, there's only one cool bobsled. There's a packing order, lads, and you are not. You're not
backing a skier.
No, you ain't backing a skier.
Try your luck with the curlers.
The Scottish farmers.
The Scottish curlers will be up for it, I think.
I'm picturing this very like lithe. She's got like extremely long legs. One of those like head warmer things. And these squat bobsledders with beards, like Vikings, dragging their knuckles towards her.
It's going to take more than a gold medal to get that, son. What else is what is the pecking order? Who's at the top of the?
I think skiers are at the top, aren't they?
Skiers
they're so graceful, and they're like really athletic. Figure skaters probably.
Figure skaters,
Nazis and skiers at the top.
Yeah.
Bobsledders at the bottom, and the curlers. Curlers is definitely
curlers
bottom.
And cross-country skiers as well.
That's a bit more plodding. Yeah. It's got no grace.
Yeah.
Where are snowboarders in that? Do they stick to their own?
I think snowboarders. I think the figure skaters who want a bit of rough, they go for the snowboarders.
Yeah, right? A bit of body hair.
That's like the Avril Lavigne skater boy type move, isn't it?
Yeah, they're punching above their weight, aren't they?
They're snowboarders.
Yeah, they shouldn't. They're the guys you look at and you're like, how?
Yeah, so when the figure skaters have tired of the jocks, the other figure skaters and the skiers, then
it's teenage dirtbag.
The snowboarders turn up on their Harley Davidson.
Yeah,
and
it's the premise of every teen film from like 98 to 2005. Teenage dirtbag. What are some other events? Obviously, skeleton and luge are just like slightly more attractive than the bobsledders because it's not a team sport.
Yeah, but
ski jumping.
I think as well, like the luge and the skeleton people, they're such like adrenaline junkies that I don't think they're. I think you try and take them home and they've popped another pill and they're on the dance floor still.
Or they want really crazy sex that you don't want. You got to like dangle by your ankles from the ceiling.
At the same games, there was a bit of a scandal because the Russian figure skaters turned up in Aboriginal themed outfits.
Oh yeah,
we're looking at them now. They've basically got blackface.
Why have they browned up?
They've like we've got sort of tan brown face makeup.
Yeah, like Naughty's fake tan.
Yeah,
Saint Tropez cream.
They've got like face paint on in sort of Aboriginal paint patterns. And they've got like brown bodysuits again with the Aboriginal sort of painting style all over it and leaves strapped to them. And they performed to music of didgeridoos and rhythmic chanting.
Love it.
Didn't go down too well.
Yeah.
It's actually not though the worst outfit that a Russian ice dancer has ever turned out in. was a few years earlier, a guy called Anton Shulapov did a concentration camp themed dance to the score of Schindler's List. I can't believe I'm saying this, but Anton turned out in a half mixed suit. Half of his suit was Jewish prison clothes with the like yellow Star of David, and the other half was a Nazi guard's uniform.
Oh my God, we're looking at a picture of it. Oh, he's literally got the star and the number.
Star of David, then the like boy in the striped pajama.
Yeah.
Like
and then like
clothes.
SS leather, Hugo Boss vibe.
It is sort of like, you know, when you sometimes see people in like half shirts. It's like, I'm just a fan of the concentration camps, really.
I just, I support both teams there. Can't they just get along?
Like what
was a concentration camp themed dance look like anyway? Like, I don't imagine there's much dancing at concentration camps. Is it like you goose step for a bit and then you do then you're like breaking rocks?
You're breaking rocks. Maybe an escape attempt.
Yeah,
and then,
the like finale is you like bid for escape and then you're being dragged back by yourself.
It's I don't know what.
How did he do? That wasn't Olympics, was it? That one? It was like some niche.
No, so there was like a bit of a furore of it, but he ended up being put forward by the Skate Federation for best outfit. Which, I mean, you've got to say he's put effort in.
Yeah,
there's a lot of thought behind it.
There's obviously an element of it that's heinous, but you do have to admire Russians' just like savage humor.
Yeah,
like they kind of don't mean it in a bad way. Do you know what I mean? Kind of.
They're
fucking wild. That's what we've lost by Russia not competing.
Yeah, exactly.
Are Russia competing?
No, they're banned.
That's absolutely wild. Will we get outfits like that this time?
Well, there's the Minion guy.
Oh yeah,
the Minion figure skater.
But interesting that we've come full circle here because we started with skating and Nazis. And we finished with skating Nazis. And in a way, that's what the whole thing's about.
It kind of comes back to our whole point from the start that it is. I mean, we've said before, rich people love Nazis, right?
Yeah, they like dressing as them.
They love dressing up as Nazis. And the Winter Olympics is...
And they like skiing.
Posh gay people.
Yeah, they like skiing and they like dressing as Nazis. They like anti-Semitism.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, well, thanks a lot for watching and listening. If you enjoyed that, we will be covering all the wildest characters and stories from this year's games on Extra Shot, which you can listen to every Thursday if you're a Patreon member. Just go to patreon.com/Upshot Towers. And yeah, we'll pull out all the Nazi dances, all the secret spies, all the hot tub whirlpool orgies.
There'll be a lot of it, I'm sure.
And the rest. Yeah. Thanks a lot. We'll see you next time. Cheers.
Thanks.